Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 80 of Midnight Poppyland. And today we have Darla and Sakura. And
Hi.
And Darla, I would love for you, since we have the special privilege of having Darla on video this time, I'd love for you to show off your whole backdrop.
Oh, sure. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys my collection of Redbubble Midnight Poppyland stuff that I have. So these are the OGs that I've had. So this is the very first one that I got. And then this one, my smoking daddy. And then this one, sexy butt. And then, so the newest ones that, so I'm on a Facebook page for Midnight Poppy Seeds. And with my potato drawings, I won the gift card to Redbubble. So I'm like, oh my God, I get to update my collection. And then from my most liked potato, I bought this pillow. And then this is one of my favorite panels ever. And I broke the egg where the one that I painted this one. So I'm like, okay, I will just buy a pillow. I don't want to have to repaint it. That shit takes hours. Mm-hmm. So that's my background. I just have my Asura's Bride painting I did last year. And then I have my little board there that says episode 80, but it's backwards because I don't know how to do that. So
no, it's good. No, we can see. I see it's like the right way. And your t-shirt.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, so this one. So I just got it a few minutes ago, actually. So my boyfriend came home from work and he got this for me. One of his coworkers always makes him t-shirts every week. So we know a guy that does custom t-shirts. So I'm like, please make this for me. Like, you have to make it exactly how it is. Oh, and I forgot to show you the back. So yes, it's in the back too. He didn't make it as large as, how it is in the episode, but I'm still very happy with it. So thank you to him.
Awesome. Now you're part of the Tora Tiger gang too.
Oh yes, yes. I like to call myself a tiger cub now. So tiger cub.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's so cool that you're able to get it so fast.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, let's get started with the episode. And Sakura, you can start us off.
Yes, so right now Erdene has the last 2 days off and Jacob's is today. So Jacob has his day off, which is a perfect timing after the entire weekend I had. And that was what happened at Moonbright in a nutshell. And she's trying to talk her thing out with Erdene. So I'm just glad that you're safe and your grands are okay, Pops, and we are pretty worried because, like I said, Jacob and Erdene's worried about Poppy, they knew her situation. And then Poppy being cute, laying down with her pizza. So starting from the joint party with Tora to being chased by thugs to an emergency trip back home to a confrontation with jury, a lot going on with Poppy. And it was all I could.
One weekend. It's like insane.
Yeah, right? And it was all I could manage to drag myself home from work and eat microwave pizza and crash into bed. So she pretty was having a long week going on with her life. And then Erdene, the gorgeous goddess.
Yeah, she
but don't think you can get slip away without spilling the tea on Tora eventually. Okay, Erdene. So just you and him outside alone in the wilderness and nothing happened.
She's so skeptical because she's like, if it was me, like, you bet something would have happened.
Exactly. And he was called to say hi since that day. So, Erdene being dirty herself. And then, but after 2 days being a soulless houseplant, I'm starting to feel like myself again. And she said, no, should he have? So it was like, she was just, she didn't expect Erdene to be like this because of the shock reaction. So I celebrate by putting on this fancy little dress I brought with my first paycheck, but wasn't brave enough to wear. So Poppy was, starting to gain some confidence, starting to wear a dress more often. Well, good for her. She looked great anyways.
Mhm. I completely like, I love that you say that she's getting more confidence, and she'll talk about it more later, but we're like, what is one of the catalysts, or who is one of the catalysts for giving her more confidence in her beauty and her femininity? Tora.
Definitely. And then Erdene was like, I mean, we're only ever really talked when he was here or we were out together. And then she blink. And it was never been over text or phone. So I guess it would have felt weird for him.
What do you think Erdene is thinking, guys?
I think Erdene is just like, you know what? Quit with the bullshit. Quit giving me excuses of why he's not calling you or texting you or whatever. Like, y'all clearly did something over the weekend. It was a long weekend. You guys were stuck in a house. I mean, Erdene doesn't know that all the details, but you guys are stuck in your hometown in the woods, this and that. Like, I think as a girl, or I'm sorry, as a woman myself, and when you first meet a guy and you don't know if he is into you, et cetera, and he doesn't call you back, and the whole 3-day thing, right? Like, if you don't hear back within that time frame, it's like, maybe he's not into me. So I think Poppy is kind of feeling that, like, maybe he hasn't it's been 2 days apparently from these panels, so I think she's probably trying to make it like not so a harsh blow if he wasn't into her. So she's just making excuses.
Right. I actually agree with Nora what she's saying, because I do see that like Poppy's kind of feels skeptical at some point. Like because I feel like, what Darla's trying to say, like I kind of feel that way the same way when it comes to dating. I'm just like, yeah, like you feel like you want to build trust in this person, but then if he's starting to play that ghosting game and everything, that starts to feel like, yeah, I feel like he's not into me at all. So she's kind of feel like she kind of does have a trauma with jewelry already. So she didn't want to get herself hurt anymore. So she just want to take little by little.
Yeah, and I feel like Erdene chooses not to push it because of that, because she doesn't want to say, oh, he really should have talked by now, or you guys really should have talked by now. She doesn't want Poppy to be like, oh yeah, like exactly what you're saying, like he's not into me, or maybe he's not. So I think she's like, okay, I'm not gonna push it any further. Let's see what happens.
And then anyways, I'll tell you more next week. Right now, I want to zone out and not think about anything or anyone. And then Erdene was like, fine. Oh, all right. Didn't you want to check out my makeup haul? And she's like, yes, show me what you brought.
Perfect distraction. Like, she's really a good friend. She really, notices Poppy's state of mind. She's like, okay, you don't want to talk about it? Fine. Well, I'm sure she's curious, and, she can be nosy at times, but she also knows when to stop.
Right. I mean, I feel like Erdene's trying to be a good friend, and she didn't want to step across Poppy's boundaries. If she's not comfortable, then she's not comfortable. So later on, like me, like I think friendship, she's a real friend in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like I said, like when she meant she just wants to skip the topic, so let's go to the makeup haul. Who doesn't love makeup? And now she said her thoughts coming back, saying anyone like Gil, for instance, who always happened these days, the last 2 days.
Hey guys, yeah, what do you think of that he's always away?
Like, does he have a camera on his phone that he can see, who's coming in and out of the office? Like, I see this all the time. I'm at my store and I see these people pull up a camera feed on their phone and they're checking on their restaurant or whatever it is. I'm like, can he see what's going on in his office? And he's like, spying on his phone, like, who the fuck is this guy? And who's this black haired guy? I ain't going there for a few days, So I don't know. I feel like he has to know what's up.
What do you think he's doing?
I feel like he's spying on Poppy, to be honest, because I feel like, he already knew Quincy already. So he feel like maybe Quincy might, have someone next to him because, like Darla said, probably he might have like a device to spy on the office, maybe Poppy and everything. So who knows, but probably he is spying on them.
Do you think he's doing like his, the shady dealings that he had
Yes.
before? Do you think he's trying to work that out now?
Oh, for
Trying not to
sure.
get
Yeah.
killed?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like publishing deals. Oh, I'm going to go publishing show. I'm going to go negotiate a contract.
Mhm.
And then Erdene herself says, I picked up a blusher and a tinted lip balm for you too. And she's being a good friend for your job interviews. Come try it on. And then, now Poppy was like, she's smiling. She's so cheeky. And then I've told Jacob and Erdene that I'm looking for a part-time job. Sweet, thanks. Like I said, I feel like Poppy herself had a reason to get the part-time job. And here goes nothing. But I haven't told them the real reason behind it. And it's because something felt off about Gil for a while now. So she's pretty intuitive too.
Yes.
And the frustrating thing is I can't figure out why.
It's a chin hairs. It's chin hairs. It's so obvious.
Yes. And then now getting to the flashback when they have lunch, he's asking about the notebook and he's trying to act like he's a nice guy. And I think I first noticed it that day when he was asked that if any of us dropped a notebook. Oh. And then Poppy was just like peeking through it. And you see the flashback. I couldn't tell what it was, but I just felt some kind of animosity direct towards me.
I feel like the fact that she mentioned the notebook, I'm hoping, Poppy is pretty smart. So I'm hoping she'll start like, she has that clue now. And I don't know when she's going to put the pieces together. And I know Tora was planning on telling her about the notebook and his life and whatever, and her involvement. So I don't know if like she'll figure it out first by herself or Tora will tell her first, but she has the clue now. So like the wheels are turning.
She's starting to feel very intuitive because ever since that day when Gil starts giving her that energy, she's just feeling like, but the post where Darla posts is like when you got the babies are kicking in your throat. I couldn't. Yeah, she was just feeling that intuitive feel like, why do I feel threatening? Like because you can feel that if someone gives you that negative energy, you can feel it.
Yeah.
So that's why Poppy herself was like, she's not dumb. We know that she's not dumb, but she keeps a close eye to what's surrounded by her. And then, okay, so now she says, am I being paranoid? Does he not like me very much because I'm not pulling my weight enough in the company? Or maybe he hired me out of the pity and he's regretting it now? Whatever it is, with a second job at least, I'll be prepared for the worst.
I just gotta say, she's such a great planner. Like just comparing to myself, let's wing it. Like that's my go-to every single day, and then like she's such a good planner, already feeling this negative vibe from Gil and kind of like acknowledging his thoughts. Remember when he was just like, when he was thinking bad about her, like, I forgot what he said. I can't think on top of my head, but he's, basically
He called her a
talking
bitch,
on
right?
her, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he called
calling
her.
her a bitch, like, I hired you out of pity, sort of thing, you know? And so the fact that she's kind of acknowledging that, like he hired her out of pity, it just sucks that she can see that. Like it's so apparent, and he's, even though he's trying to hide it, he's not hiding it. If she can feel it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, and like you said, Sakura, she's intuitive. She can sense things, people's feelings.
Mm-hmm. And then now Erdene herself, like Sue Erdene, she said, I'm not great at matching lip shades with skin tones, so fingers crossed. And then later on, Poppy said, I have faith in you, Dean. And though I won't bring this up to Erdene and Jacob unless I've gotten actual proof to back my suspicions. And it's not that I don't think that they're being supportive, but I don't want to put them on the spot. And I also find it incredibly hard to speak my mind about difficult subjects. Poor Poppy.
When I read that line, I was like, oh, I relate so much to this. And sometimes, often when I read webtoons, you ever find yourself like screaming at the characters? You're like, just tell them, or just do this, or like they're right behind you, or like things that like, you as a reader, you're like, just do this, it'll solve all your problems.
Right.
But not that this will solve problems, but it's so true that in real life, like even if you should do something, it's so hard. Like to speak about difficult subject is something so many people have a hard time doing. Like there are so many conversations we know we should have and we just don't because it's way too hard. So it was like so relatable to read that.
Right. And like I said with Poppy is that she how I say, but not Poppy, but Erdene. I think Quincy did warn to Erdene and Jacob in the previous episode that she might be in danger, and Quincy warned like he's being serious about it. So I think they already knew it already. So Poppy doesn't really need to give an explanation to them.
Well, Quincy told them she's in danger, but I don't think he told them that he suspected it was from Gil.
Right.
So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think like Gil will do something first, or Poppy will tell them first, or like how do you think it's going to go down?
I feel like Gil is so freaking shady. I feel like he's gonna do something first. But I don't know what it is. I feel like he's gonna do something about Poppy. Like I don't know. Get rid of her position. I mean, what's the worst he can do? Fire her? Or like, no. The worst he can do is like send people after her, right?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he will blackmail her.
Blackmail. Yeah.
That seems like a him kind of thing to do, because I don't know if he's like directly violent, but blackmailing, I can very much see him do that.
Ooh. And then now let's get back to Miss Erdene. She's like, not bad, very professional and sassy. And she's like, yay. And then she's like, smack your lips together, sweetie. And then now Poppy is trying on the lip tint, and and she said, Erdene and Jacob have been awesome, and I think I really lucked out with them as a co-workers. And then she's talking about Jacob, and she said Jacob might be a pain in the butt at times, but he's generally a nice guy and relatable, steadfast friend. And
I'm so happy to hear this defense of Jacob.
Right, even though Jacob is very blunt.
Yeah.
But we still, but she treats him like a
susness.
Yeah.
He's like that annoying little brother,
Right.
He means, like they won't admit that they mean well.
Oh.
Right. And though Erdene sees me as like a kid sister or more like a daughter. So I think a lot of people that have been talking about this, just to add on, is that people were saying that, Poppy doesn't have a mother. I mean, her mother left her when she was a kid, so she does kind of depend on Erdene, like if she was a mother to protect her. So she also was very careful about not overstepping her boundaries. And she really been encouraging me to get out of the comfort zone and embrace life more fully. Oh. Aw.
I love how, like, you know, I know for me, every one of my friends teaches me something different and gives me a different perspective on life. And it's so wonderful that Poppy can, you know, recognize what her friends are doing for her.
Mm-hmm. And sadly, this isn't the case of most people I've met. And then referring back to the other episodes with the two women, I forgot their names anyway.
Oh my gosh, that'd be a fun trivia question.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It was
And-
like very average names, like Grace or something, like very normal names. That I
Is it
don't
like
know.
Mrs. Nelson? I don't know. Maybe am I making something up right now? in
Mrs.
my
Nelson
head?
was the one who gave her the wink. Right? I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The cool one. These were like, I don't know.
Something
Whoops.
basic.
Yeah.
names. And then we heading back to Mr. Lamb's flashback. And I could never thought I could do anything but to accept that this is how it will always be for myself. And evolution 101, and when you're as small as I am, sometimes getting away is a better option than getting your way. That's pretty deep, by the way.
Mhm.
And then she said, but recently I've been wondering if this is really almost a self-fulfilling prophecy in my life, or a vicious cycle. With me, I'm subconsciously perpetuating what I feel people are thinking or should be thinking about me, because it's just easier that way. And we're flashing back to Poppy in Granny's house. She was changing. And then it's your turn, Mindy.
Yeah, and I love her thought process because, you know, she's really, really, really growing. She's finally, like, we all have our habits that we do, like what she said, to protect ourselves. And, you know, the things that we're used to, the way that we're used to thinking about ourselves. And the hardest thing to change is to change how we think about ourselves and about life. And she's in the process of doing that. And that's amazing. She's really like transforming from, you know, like a chrysalis to a butterfly. Like she's flowering, she's blooming, like she's maturing.
Right.
And now she says, you know, she's and it's represented also by the fact that she made that choice, right? She was worried about her dress, and then she was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear, you know, something sexy, even though it's out of my comfort zone. That symbolizes her, again, stepping out and growing up and, you know, gaining more confidence in herself. And, you know, she thinks to herself, I'll just read the thought process first. And I think I started feeling this way because of him. And, you know, this has coincided with, you know, we have good afternoon, ladies, and it's Quincy coming in, and behind him is Tora. And Tora is the one who has given her this confidence.
Damn, daddy.
Do you guys have that? Like, I can speak for myself. I know I changed so much when I met Yoel, and Yoel was like, you know, I remember one thing for me, which I was never super self-conscious about my body because I just wasn't. But I did, you know, I used to feel like having curves or like being, you know, having like love handles. I thought that was a bad thing. And Yoel was like, I love it. Like, I love grabbing it. I love all the curves. And it really made me think about that differently. And that's just one small example of how, you know, having someone who loved me like that just really made me more confident and more secure in myself. So I don't know if you guys have that with your relationships.
Oh, absolutely, Mindy. Like I can say 100% with my let's just say side piece, with my side piece. Okay, so like I feel like everyone has always said, like, you're so confident. How are you so confident? Blah, blah, blah. Like, well, you know, I've been with my guy for close to 9 years now. Like, you know, and he's always made me feel beautiful. And like, you know, regardless like how much weight you gain or whatever, like over the years, like if they still find you sexy and desirable, like that just boosts your confidence already. And like you know, just trying to get in my mind as if I'm Poppy, like, okay, if I'm having guy that's as handsome as Tora, like fucking, you know, drool all over me and try to like get like, you know, try to get to me like so much. Like that's a huge confidence boost. Like, you know, when you have this hot ass guy trying to get at you, like even when like my boyfriend now, like you know, he had like a nice ass body when I when I got with him. And so I don't work out at all. Like I hate it. And then, you know, it made me want to run and work out. I trust me, I don't do it. None of us do now. But you know, that made me want to step my game up and be feel good and be confident like them. So it helps a lot when what your partner thinks of you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Regardless,
Yeah.
I was
Sure.
gonna add something. Sorry. You know, I actually wanted to say that not really relate to relationship. I just feel like in general that I actually am a model, and I actually had a modeling agency, and I felt that way because when I look at people, I felt insecure. I mean, we have our moments because you feel like, damn, they look very like beautiful. They're structured. They're like runway models, and I feel like I couldn't relate to that. But at the same time, I remember being judged by some certain people. They would like to body shame me, and I just feel like there's some sort of people that you're around with, but sometimes I feel like I would gain confidence by, you know, being myself, and depending on which people you're around with. And I feel like, you know, your friends will hype you, especially with your relationships. I feel like you're able to gain your confidence, your ego. And I just feel like, you know, it was really hard to me in the industry too, because regardless, I wanted to be, you know, maybe if I want to stand up for myself and defend myself, like what Poppy's doing, she would defend herself. But the most insecure part about my body, like I would say that when you gain weight, I personally do gain weight, and then it's just not for me. I didn't like it much, but then I feel like the industry, the world is changing. It's just how you start to feel like if they can do it, then I can do it. So yeah, I would say that, you know, I'm pretty happy where I'm at right now.
So, and you know, we have Tora walking in looking stunning and gorgeous, and Poppy, of course, unsurprisingly, is like, but and you know, he's hanging out back there, he's looking at his phone, and you know, he now we get into his thoughts, and he thinks just a few days away from her, and you lose your shit. Way to behave like an effing schoolboy with a crush. And Poppy's looking over at him and his little cute smile, and he's like, a crush. Yeah, that's what it is. And I'm like, Tora,
God,
no!
He's just so in denial. Like, can you shut up? Like,
That's exactly right.
it's just a schoolboy crush. Yeah, the fuck right. You just say it. Just say it. You're in love.
He said it already. I know. At this point, we have to sing.
know.
You just won't say, I won't say I'm in love. Right? That song from like Hercules.
He's so soft. I can't.
God. Don't do it, Tora. Don't do it. You said it. You said it a few days ago.
He said the L word.
He did. It's back and forth, back and forth. And again, so typical with like, you know, youthful or maybe not even so youthful first loves. This is for him, it's like a schoolboy crush in the sense that it's his first time, really. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't know how to identify his feelings. I think that, you know, those of us with more age and experience, you get to a point where you know yourself really well, and you know you can identify like this is serious, or this is just a fling, or this is, you know, I don't really care. So, but Tora doesn't have that experience yet. So he doesn't know himself. He doesn't know how he feels. And he's like, oh, we were alone in the middle of nowhere. He's thinking back, you know, all the memories of the lake and seeing her in his dino shirt. I'm attracted to her, and she sure as hell is to me. And yeah, I know, the cutest panels with them together on the bed. And we got carried away. That's all.
I love how he says, that's all. Like, yeah, right, that's all. Like, quit trying to make it, quit trying to downplay it, you know, when you know you guys almost got it in, you know. poor little Poppy gonna lose her virginity. No, not poor little Poppy.
Right, exactly.
Lucky little Poppy.
Mhm.
Okay,
boy.
go on, Mindy. Sorry, I got lost
Yeah.
in his eyes.
No, it's like so hard to hear him say this. We're like, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. Like, or I don't know, 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. I don't know. Like it was pure impulse and not. And it was all these adorable faces or cute face, not love.
Shut up, Tora. Shut the fuck up. God.
He needs a good
Tora.
shaking. You need to shake him, knock some sense into him. The whole fandom collectively tell him, you are in love. You just don't know it. Yeah, well, Darla, here's your...
okay. I'm not ready for that shit, and I don't know if I'll ever be. Man, whatever, Tora. Like, you need to stop right now because, you know, okay, from that, like, you know, he's probably just used to like fuck buddies or whatever he's had in the past, or like, I don't know, he could have gone to a fucking maid cafe. I don't know. But, you know,
It's just like a one-time thing.
exactly. Like, I don't know what love is. I'm too whatever. Okay. Anyways, okay.
He's scared. I mean, you know, I think that the reason he's trying to convince himself he's not in love is because of that, you know. That's the only honest thing that he said. I'm not ready and I don't know if I will be. You know, that's the truth. That's why he's trying to lie to himself.
I know, but no one knows when they're gonna be ready. Like, how old was I? You guys don't know. How old was I when I met my guy now? I was 22.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't know I was gonna meet the person that I want to be with. You know, you don't know.
Was it scary for you? Like, did it take you a long time to commit? No. Okay.
I don't know, maybe because I'm that relationship type.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm super monogamous, and so when I meet someone, like, okay, like, where are we going with this? So I wasn't scared for it. And just a little side note. So if anyone is young, like, listening to this, like, and I've asked like so many of my guy friends, like, if a guy is into a girl, like, do they hesitate? Like, do they hesitate to talk to a girl or whatever? It's like, no. If they like someone, they're just gonna text you. Just like with my guy that I've been with for so long. Like, he just immediately told me to put my phone number in his cell phone, and he texted me that night.
Aww.
Like, there's no 3-day waiting period. Like, if a guy likes you, they're just gonna text you. Like, guys don't think that way. Like, they're just gonna do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but with Tora and Poppy's case, it's a little different because Tora's never had a relationship. He doesn't know this stuff.
Mm-hmm. He's never, not just for himself, I don't think he's seen it around him, like any good model. He didn't have parents. Vincent, and I don't know, even if wife, arm candy, who knows who we had going on around him, but certainly not a good model. I don't think he even knows what that would be like.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I think he has no good examples, and that's really sad.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
let's continue. Careful, Pops. Wow. So Poppy's about to fall. And then Quincy goes, whoopsie daisy. So and then Tora's like, oh, he's gonna go run after and save Poppy, if anything. And then he's all thinking, what a dumb schoolboy crush I can handle. And then you see Quincy catching the books. Whoa, nice reflexes, Quincy. So Erdene saying it. Yeah, wow, you're more athletic than you look. Oh, I'm really not, Miss Editor. I was only the star rugby player and leading karate champion in college is all. No way, you did all that in college? Naturally, that's where all the college hotties are, ladies. Did I mention the hot, sweaty, muscular bodies? Of course, we should have known.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
Tora's like, I fucking hope. Oh, okay, let's see what he said before. Oh, but a dumb schoolboy crush I can handle. And he's saying, I fucking hope. Okay, so he's still unsure of himself. He's trying to believe that this is just a schoolboy crush. Like, not full, like you're you're in love and like you're trying to make it seem like it's smaller than that. So whatever. Okay.
I love how Quincy is like bragging about himself in like a not at all subtle way. And again, like speaking of, sexuality and being comfortable with it, he is totally comfortable with like sexuality as far as we can tell. I mean, at least what he says on the outside. I don't know if on the inside he has a more complicated relationship. I don't know. It's possible. But for sure, externally, he has no problem talking about attraction, sexual attraction. And I love that confidence that he has.
Oh, definitely. I do see that in Quincy is like he's not afraid to show his feelings, even though he is a part of the mafia, but he just doesn't want to be a part of that because he believes like, he loves, I feel like he's more into like, some his own fantasy. He's all into those like romantic, not safe for work novels. He likes something that is like, he will be able to open himself. He's not more of like the violin, the whole organization like his father is doing. So definitely he's more of himself. And I love that.
I think that's with a lot of creatives, writers or artists or whatever. We're always going to be ourselves in our own, whatever we choose to do at that moment. And you'll never like show who you truly are to your family, like not even to your coworkers. Like it's just all in your work. Just look at your work and you'll see it,
Yeah, it's funny because I just went to a family wedding yesterday, and I left like my community of origin when I was like 19, and it was I won't say it was hard because there was like no way that I could have stayed because it was so not compatible for me. But over the years, like I've developed a pretty like, sometimes I have like mixed feelings about leaving or about, missing the people I left behind, or maybe feeling guilty for not doing certain things the way that I grew up. And I went to a wedding yesterday and I was just like, I got to see all the people I hadn't seen, some of them in like 10 years. And I was like, I did the right thing. Like there was, I always felt like a lot of artists feel this way, or like you said, creative types, they're always different, and like nobody around them gets them. And I was like, nobody here got me and they never will get me. And there was just no way for me to continue living in that kind of place. So I was like, I did the right thing.
Yeah. Okay, you want to keep going? All right, we'll let you know when we're done with our discussion so you can join in, Pops. Take your time. I'm going to reply to some emails. Then Poppy is rummaging through her drawer. She's looking around the office. She's like, huh? Did he leave the office so quickly? So she is looking around for Tora. Where is he? I was going to ask if he wanted to share my bento with me because we all know he loves to eat.
And it's like so affectionate, it doesn't look like a very big bento box, but she's going to share half of it.
I know, that's so cute. Like you're going to share your whole lunch you prepared for work with this big man that's going to probably want 5 of those bento boxes just to fill up, But that's very sweet of her.
Definitely.
Very cute.
And I love your bento.
Yes. If he's downstairs, I might be able to catch him. Creak. And then his sexy hand coming out of the crack, like looking like he's gonna pinch her ass. Okay. What are you doing in here? Smoke. Fudge biscuits. Oh, right. You use this as a smoking room.
Wait, so you notice fudge biscuits is what he's saying in his brain. So I'm thinking he's like,
he's saying it.
Oh,
oh, wait, is he? Oh, you're right. No, fudge biscuits. No, she says fudge biscuits.
No,
She's the one who uses that term.
yeah,
She's-
she uses it. He would be like, fuck.
Right, sorry. Sorry. So
Okay.
is she saying fudge biscuit because she's like nervous? She's like, she doesn't like the smoke, or she's like, oh my God, he just pulled me into a closet. Which, by the way, the whole fandom was begging for the supply closet. They're like, supply closet, supply closet.
Yes.
And here they are.
I think
Oh my God,
she's
that's fun.
freaking nervous. Like, okay, this shit's actually happening. Like, I was looking for him and, he was nowhere to be found. So I'm just like, I'm wondering where he's at. And then next thing you know, boom, he pulls you in. He's right fucking there, right in your face, like.
In her face.
Exactly. And he goes, looking for me. Yeah, I wanted to. I've grown so comfortable around him. I keep forgetting how ridiculously good looking he is. Yes.
yeah.
With his chest all open and his like glaring down.
And his like
until we
mascara, his like eyeliner eyes, like he has such thick, it's not really eyeliner, but it looks like eyeliner.
Oh, his eyelashes, yes. His extremely grown out eyelashes that just won't stop growing. Until we spend some time apart and I'm reminded all over again. But I wanted to Bobby. but yeah, yes. But looking into her soul right now, intense eye contact. I missed you. And then the three heads pop up and we're dying.
The cliffhangers.
After all his denial, after all his like, oh, this is just a schoolboy crush, when he comes face to face, he just can't resist her, pulls her in and tells her he missed her. I don't even know if he meant to say that. Like, I don't know if because like he's trying to keep it cool. Like, no.
Yeah, he for sure is trying to keep it cool because he doesn't want to say the L word because like, what kind of chump is going to say that when you're not even in a relationship with this person. But I think it's the one thing I'm going to give this to him, that he has revealed to her that he missed her, and I think he is let's give him a point for this because he actually said it to her in her face. He had all this time to text her and call her, but that's not really his style, right? He waits for in person, which is actually quite nice. A lot of men don't. They'll just text you or send you a DM,
I mean, depends on what generation you're from or what you're in. I mean, this generation is all about texting, DMs, you name it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, I like, it's great that he was able to say that to her. So what's the follow-up gonna be?
Well, I better see Poppy's dress, like, and his shirt ripped open and his hair like crazy. Like, I better see that. I'm just kidding. That'll probably be an SG. Not canon, not yet. I would only hope.
So, final thoughts on this episode. And I totally forgot. Do you guys want to do everyone's question? I had to ask you before.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do whatever questions you have.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say on the episode before we do that?
I just think that Tora's hair looks great in this episode. It's so fluffy and like the way I forgot to mention his hair, like when he walks into the office. When I first saw it, I'm just like, wow, his hair is so wild and free. And that is like explaining like him right now, he's free and he's taken off the shackles that he's been wearing, you know, with his turtlenecks and trying to cover himself up this entire time, and he's just free, and his tattoos exposed, his skin exposed, and his hair just wild and free. And I just love that, I don't know, metaphor, synonyms, symbolism, I don't know.
I just thought to myself that Tora is just amazing, especially Poppy herself. I just love both of them, like how like they start to have a character development that they both are able to, you know, see themselves, that, you know, they want to feel good for themselves. It's like your school crush. If you want to look good for your crush, make him notice that, you know, you look good. You're waiting for compliments. You want to, yeah, some sort of like that. Because I kind of relate to that no matter what. And I feel like Tora and Poppy, I love the fact that they both reciprocate each other no matter what, because, you know, I feel like Tora wants to show that confidence in him also, and Poppy wants to do the same. And I just feel like they both look so beautiful. I'm not kidding around. They just look beautiful. I can't.
They are.
They do. They do. And Poppy's dress is beautiful, and she chose a bold, colorful print. And, you know, well, I think a lot of the times when women feel good about themselves, they're going to wear something bold and colorful. Like,
yeah, so it shows off
know,
their body.
Exactly.
Curves.
Yeah. And the fact that she did that, and she's obviously feeling good about herself, and it's because of her experience with him.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, 100%. I know it's a sign of like good, that you're feeling good. Like if somebody is not taking care of themselves, it's, you know, insecurity, or it's, you know, they're depressed. Like if they're, you know, dressed in baggy clothing, they're not keeping up appearances, like that's a sign of, you know, something's not well with them. So yeah, so the opposite is not, you know, it's a good sign.
Yes.
Anywho, let's move on to the bonus question. I thought of a really cool bonus question. So here we go.